Executive Insight. Maritime transport is the bedrock of the global economy. There's one company that's been in the business for over 140 years, connecting countries around the world. Mitsui O.S.K. Lines, or MOL, of Japan. Eyeing the future, they're now charting the next era for the maritime transport industry. The key word, wind. A new age of the sail ship is dawning. At the company's head office in Tokyo, we spoke to MOL President and CEO Takeshi Hashimoto.
I understand you've been working to achieve net zero emissions in your business. Would you talk to us about the ideas behind this initiative?
Regarding climate change, it's becoming clear that we have no choice but to address this situation head-on. We need to consider how we can do that as a company. Rather than being a follower, we believe we need to aspire to take a leadership position as a first mover and guide the maritime transport industry. We've set a target to achieve net zero emissions by 2050 and have been steadily taking various steps toward achieving that goal.
What the company set its sights on was wind. Much like sailing ships of the past, vessels equipped with large sails and a wind-assisted propulsion system called Wind Challenger are already plying the high seas. But why the focus on wind?
Among the various energy-saving initiatives, we estimated that using wind would allow us to reduce fuel consumption by an average of 5 to 8% compared to conventional propulsion systems. And the tests we actually carried out showed a similar result. Reducing fuel consumption will naturally lower CO2 emissions, and as one option among the various combinations of energy-saving technologies, we believe using wind is a viable alternative.
Wind Challenger employs telescopic sails made of lightweight and durable glass fiber reinforced plastic to ensure that vessels will not need to reduce the volume of cargo that can be carried. The orientation and shape are automatically controlled according to the wind direction and speed at sea. Additionally, various other technologies are combined, such as the weather routing system, which incorporates weather information to select the optimum route using wind to further reduce fuel consumption. The captain of the Wind Challenger-equipped Shofu Maru explains the effectiveness of the technology.
When the sail expands, it catches the wind and produces power, so the ship is propelled by the engine in the back and also pulled from the front. I'm constantly impressed by the power that comes from the sails.
Won't equipping sails on cargo ships affect aspects such as maneuverability and safety?
Even when the sail is open, we can clearly see other ships on the surface. The angle is also automatically adjusted, so the sail didn't affect operations or make navigation any more difficult.
Australia, the port of call for the Wind Challenger-equipped Shofu Maru. We spoke to the pilot who boarded the vessel in New South Wales.
The main concerns, we had two concerns with the Shofu Maru in terms of the sail. The first was visibility, and the second was the actual effect of the windage, of even when the sail was in the stowed position, in the actual live port entry, we discovered there was no real issues there at all. The visibility was good, and it had negligible impact on the handling of the vessel. It was very exciting to see, and it's a blend of technology with a resource, the wind, that's been there forever. Yeah, it's good to see, and I certainly hope it's the way of the future.
Based on the performance demonstrated by Shofu Maru, the first Wind Challenger-equipped vessel, a second ship, Green Winds, was delivered in 2024. In 2026, it will also be installed for the first time on an LNG carrier and others. And by 2035, 80 vessels are scheduled to be fitted with Wind Challenger.
We're reaching a position of being a leader So we need to accumulate our own data and apply that to make further improvements. We plan to increase the number of vessels as well as the data we can collect. Take vessel shape, for example. The bridge could be brought all the way forward. By changing the design, we believe there are many possibilities to adopt technologies to further leverage the power of the wind.
To achieve net zero emissions, MOL is taking on a variety of other challenges.
One of our initiatives now is, for example, to use LNG instead of oil for fuel as much as possible. Converting various vessels to LNG alone will not only help reduce CO2 emissions by 20 to 25%, but it will also mitigate emissions such as SOx and NOx. So there are all kinds of environmental benefits. In the future, we'll likely see a big trend of shifting away from fossil fuels centered on petroleum to new fuels such as ammonia and hydrogen that don't emit GHGs. At this point, the problem with these new fuels is that the cost is extremely high. The lower the fuel consumption, the better the total fuel economy. So even if we start using green methanol, green ammonia, hydrogen, and other biofuels, technologies like Wind Challenger can continue to be used and will continually improve. I believe that's one of the advantages.
To further improve Wind Challenger, MOL is also pushing ahead with its Wind Hunter project to equip multiple sails on a single vessel. In the works is a brand new hydrogen-producing vessel that automatically identifies and navigates routes with the best wind conditions, generating power from underwater turbines and converting it into hydrogen. Development is underway with the vessel scheduled to enter service in 2030.
Wind Hunter is what you could describe as a modified offshore wind farm. We're in the shipping business, but it's not necessarily focused on transporting cargo. Manufacturing is also carried out aboard the ship, and there are quite a lot of possibilities for expansion. Hydrogen is one example, but we want to put more effort into this initiative.
By combining various projects, MOL is aiming to achieve net zero emissions across the entire group. Company President Takeshi Hashimoto showed us a key site related to all of their initiatives.
What kind of facility is this?
We call it SOSC for short. It's a facility where the staff work on shifts 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, to monitor the movements of our vessels around the world.
Information difficult to ascertain aboard vessels is collected and centrally managed here. Staff with experience as ship captains carry out analysis and make assessments, contacting and coordinating with vessels as needed to support them from the ground. In addition, they developed a ship-to-shore digital platform called Focus, an integrated system. It utilizes up to 10,000 sensor data points from each of the 900 or so vessels in service across MOL. By collecting and analyzing detailed data from those vessels, they aim to monitor the propulsion performance of vessels to make operations more efficient, thereby reducing the environmental impact. Combined with data collected through Focus, enhanced coordination between vessels and a dedicated team established in the Philippines in 2022 have helped improve fuel efficiency by about 7% and reduce GHG emissions.
We are determined to reduce GHGs and ultimately achieve zero emissions. In pursuing this, we need to take on different challenges. But that doesn't mean sacrificing safety. We believe overcoming that is one of our challenges.
To achieve success in this challenge and ensure sustainable growth, MOL is aggressively investing in its future. One area it's focusing on is human capital.
Right now, close to 900 vessels are operating around the world, carrying massive numbers of crew members. Securing human resources is vitally important. One of the key factors that allows us to differentiate ourselves from rivals is that we still have the capability to attract top talent.
In 2018, MOL opened a maritime academy in the Philippines. By training and recruiting top-caliber crew members, they aim to attain the highest level of safety in the world. And they are also building a work environment to attract and retain top talent.
Safety alone isn't sufficient. It's also essential for us to improve their quality of life. Unless we do that, good crew members won't stay with us. One aspect we've put considerable effort into is to create a comfortable environment aboard our vessels.
This is a space to promote the well-being of crew members during long journeys. Called ikoi, meaning rest in Japanese, it's where crew members can comfortably spend their time off from duties. Investments in the future also extend to the development of new technologies and innovation.
For instance, procuring new fuels such as what are called green ammonia and green methanol is an exceptionally big challenge for us. We need to identify sources and whether we can procure them at appropriate prices. To reduce costs, we need a technological breakthrough. So we're starting to engage more closely with our R&D division, while providing the necessary funding and personnel.
MOL is embarking on a quest to realize net zero emissions through various innovative initiatives. Powered by the wind, they're charting a course toward a new age in the maritime industry.